Hi. Yeah, look, okay, I know. Next week, I'm gonna get back to video essays. It's been a long holiday, so I probably should have communicated that a bit better during the holidays, but I've been busy, pretty busy, so I've only really been able to get out those two SF animations, those holiday special ones, the Christmas special and the New Year special. But next week, after this, I am getting back to the video essays, so just stick with me. Hold that one more week, and then next Friday, I'll have one out. I'll be back on schedule, alright? Promise. But for right now, we're doing this because I feel like it, that's why. I've seen a lot of discourse online, SH Monster Arts, Bandai's, Godzilla, and other slightly related stuff line for figures, and HIYA Toys, their line of Godzilla figures, and which one's better, which one's more fairly priced. Is SH Monster Arts losing their grip? Are they losing their touch of perfection that everybody once loved them for? In a way, yes, but let's just let's leave that for another time. As of right now, I managed to get my hand on a little sweet thing, a little HIYA Toys Godzilla vs. Kong Heat Ray Godzilla, right? I managed to get my hands on him, and I've had the Godzilla vs. Kong SH Monster Arts Godzilla for a little while now, for a long time now, actually. And so I was thinking, what if, for this week, since I didn't really have an essay prepared yet, what if I just kind of went back in time a little bit and did a figure review, but this time, to make it a bit, different, I did a comparison, because that's a brand new idea that I just came up with. Nobody's ever done that before, ever, in the history of YouTube, not at all. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. So we are going to be comparing these two fellas right here. Height difference is interesting already. I've never actually put them like right next to each other like that before and noticed the height difference. I'm not gonna lie, maybe it's just his posture, I don't know. Maybe he's just slouching, maybe that's it. Here we have the HIYA Toys Godzilla vs. Kong Heat Ray Godzilla. And then here we have the SH Monster Arts Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla, which is pretty much the same thing by itself. So we're going to be looking at the two and comparing them and seeing which one is better and I guess more fairly priced at the end of the day. So first and foremost, we'll start with the oldest boy, the SH Monster Arts Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla. So first off, I want to start with the paint job. Paint job, just visually, this figure it could be better, if you ask me. The mouth is a little bit, is that gonna focus? Come on, camera, focus. There, okay, I guess that works. Mouth is a little sloppy. The teeth are a little sloppy too. The eyes are all blue. It's basically this figure, there's some light tones of like brownish on the chest, but for the most part, this figure is basically just kind of two different colors, and that's about it. Just like this black, or I guess what, charcoal-ish color on his body. Come on, focus. There you go. This black charcoal-ish color on his body, and then that like shiny blue on his dorsal plates and in his mouth and his eyes, and so the paint job isn't really all that impressive, I would say. It's all right, I guess. It's passable for me, in my personal opinion. With what I get figures for stop motion most of the time. Some for display, but mostly for stop motion. I like stop motion stuff. I haven't done it in a while. I should probably get back to it. But anyway, I like figures for stop motion, so I pay more attention to, like durability of the figure and what's the word? Like posability, agility, right? How much I can move the figure around and how far I can push it without like its arm falling off or something, right? Moving on from the paint job, which is just kind of alright, I guess, for my standards. Posability, like, flexibility for this guy. I've used him in stop motions before. He works well. Only thing I will say is that he has been a little annoying to work with in some areas. Like I've had experiences with, you know, his foot falling off. I think it's this foot. I forget which one. I haven't used him in a little while, but I think it's this foot that kept falling off, and his tail I was having trouble with too. It kept falling off as well when I was trying to move him around. So those are the only two spots that I've had real trouble with. His mouth also doesn't really close, I think because of his tongue might get in the way a little bit because of the way the tongue is positioned. Maybe that's just a thing from my figure though, I don't know. But for the most part, and you know how I've used this guy, he's worked, he's done his job well when it comes to articulation and posability. He's decent for stop motions. I kind of do want something that's a bit more flexible, so I'm going to be looking around for that. But I mean, for right now, he does his job pretty well. He does it, it works, and I like it. So durability though, I think I already kind of went over that with the tail and the foot and whatnot, but it could be better, really. I don't know if most of like the tail falling off and the foot falling off is like user error, but I never really did anything that would warrant it to start, you know, falling off and be loosened, right? And I've never really been rough with this thing. I've never really, you know, messed around with it a lot. I've kind of, because this thing costs a lot. It's like $138 on Amazon right now. I use Amazon for a basis to check prices, but this thing is like $138. So I don't really want to mess it up or ruin it or, you know, damage it in any way. I don't really want to damage even the cheaper figures that I have. I just like the stuff that I have, and I respect the stuff that I have, you know? So I've never really, you know, done anything that would warrant any like loosening joints or something falling off or whatever, right? Like that right there. See, I just pick them up. I just picked them up and it just fell apart. I could use some work in my experience. Paint job, very meh. Could be better. SH Monster Arts has done better. You know, that this isn't really the kind of quality I would expect, but it's again, by my standards, it's fine, right? Agility, good enough for a decent stop motion, though I feel like could be better. More durability would help with that probably. But now let's talk about my favorite thing to talk about when it comes to SH Monster Arts: accessories. Yeah, accessories. SH Monster Arts has lost the art of accessories when it comes to figures. I don't know why. Maybe it's just maybe it's just their way of spending spending less money and then charging more for the product. But because if you look at older SH Monster Arts products, they used to have a lot of accessories. There used to be accessories galore. There were always heat rays and beams and, you know, little, I mean, they even had like little accessory and, you know, prop packs and stuff, like little buildings and tanks and aircrafts and stuff, right? They had all kinds of stuff that you could use and put along with your figures for display, right? Which I think that figure companies should do. I think that is like just kind of an obvious must for companies like this. Just put things with your figures that help with their display, right? That make them look cooler. That would make them worth more money. This figure has no accessories. This is really about it. There's nothing else to it. It's just this. It's what you see right here. It's just this guy, which is, again, I mean, fine, I guess. I only really use it for stop motion, so I'm not, you know, but like for display purposes, I still have him on display on a shelf, right? And I think just a heat ray or something would be cool to have along with him, right? So I can have the heat ray coming out of his mouth or something, you know? It's a little unfortunate, but this is a habit now with SH Monster Arts. They'll, you know, have a figure, and that figure should totally have an accessory like a heat ray or something, but they just don't add it for whatever reason, I don't know. Overall, I'd say he's all right. It really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a figure that's like if you're looking for a figure for stop motions, I would kind of recommend him. Like, between the two figures that I'm going to be talking about, I would recommend this guy more for stop motions, because you'll see in a minute, he's more agile than the HIYA figure. He can do more, he can move around more. And I believe that is the primary purpose of SH Monster Arts figures. I believe that they're more so for stop motion. Maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that many times before. So I believe that's the primary purpose of these things. And with that in mind, I think that they did very well. Last but not least, HIYA Toys Godzilla, the HIYA version, it's called in the box. But again, more or less the same thing. So this one, I've already got to say, you can probably already tell too, the paint job is definitely better. Again, it's not really perfect, I would say, but it's definitely better than the last one, in my personal opinion. There's more color to it, more shades of blue than just the one shade of, you know, shiny blue that was on this guy. I mean, like, look at those dorsal fins, for example. Look at that. That's way more detail on the HIYA figure than on this guy. Also, he's not really like a charcoal black like this figure is. He's more, I think this is more screen accurate. Definitely, I prefer the paint job on the HIYA figure over this one. It's just more colors, a little bit more detail, right? Instead of just making the eyes like little, jeez, my camera won't focus, but instead of just making the eyes like little blue beads in there just by themselves, see that? Yeah, they actually, you know, made the eyes look more like they're glowing, like they're actual lights in there. That's, yeah, what you should be doing. The mouth looks better too, right? Doesn't look like it was just kind of lazily painted over with a shiny blue paint, right? It looks better. It looks like there was a bit more time put into it than the SH Monster Arts figure, right? It looks like there was a bit more care put into this thing, right? A bit more effort, if you will. The dorsals are my favorite example, though. I mean, again, just take one more look at that. One more look. See the difference? It's major difference. Now, durability for this guy, so far, I can't say I've tried using him for stop motion just yet. I might not. I might, maybe, just for the sake of it, I might post like a little stop motion test video just to see how he does. But this guy is pretty durable. He's pretty tanky. He feels a lot. Like, you can just kind of feel it too when you pick them both up. This one's heavier, and it just feels tankier. It feels like if you drop him, he's more likely to stay in one piece. This guy, he feels like if you drop him, he's less likely to stay in one piece. He's lighter. He just feels a bit more fragile, you know? So this one is definitely tankier, definitely more durable. But the only problem that brings up is the agility. Again, I prefer getting figures for stop motion. This guy, he's really not all that. I don't know. I mean, like, say you can only move him so much. His arms move a little bit. His hands kinda too, right? His movement is limited, is what I'm trying to say. The neck especially, the head, not really much you can do with that. Jaw is good. The tongue can move, actually, by the way. I forgot to mention that. That's nice. Legs, again, yeah, it's there, but it's limited, is what I'm trying to say. With this guy, agility is not really his strength. I personally don't think the HIYA figures, or at least this one, were really made for stop motion, just because of that alone. This one was probably made for like display, or I mean, it even has action figure on the box, so it's probably something more like NECA, right? NECA can be used for collectibles, but I can also see NECA figures being used as toys too, right? Just like a bit fancier toys than like a generic little figure that's like cheap, or like a Playmates Godzilla figure. This is like a fancier toy than that, you know? While something like SH Monster Arts is, without his tail, is specifically designed for collecting, which kind of makes the, you know, lackluster results of their figures a bit more disappointing. But HIYA doesn't really give me that vibe, especially with their pricing, which I'll bring up in a minute. My tab just closed. Okay, this guy is $99.88 on Amazon right now, and let me look back. Okay, just in comparison to this guy again, this guy was $138.51 on Amazon. $138 versus $99. I mean, that's, you know, that's a big difference, really. I think this really comes down to, what are you looking for in a figure? Are you looking for stop motion? Or are you looking for just display? Or, I mean, what are you looking for? Again, I don't want to judge this guy's flexibility too much just yet, because I haven't really tried pushing him to his limits for stop motion purposes. I haven't tried using him in a video, so I'll do that. I don't want to say soon, but I'll do that sometime in the near future. Okay, and I'll give him a test. I'll give him a test run, and I'll see how he does. But at the moment, not that impressed with the agility of this figure. Now, do you remember when I was talking about accessories and how important those are to me? And how the SH Monster Arts figure did not come with any accessories? Wow. Look what this came with. Accessories! Wow! Little interchangeable parts. Look at that for the neck. It's a piece of something like that. There we go. I can take that off. A little piece of interchangeable pieces for the neck, the head, right? Oh my god, isn't that just awesome? And hang on, am I doing this right? Let me figure this out. Oh boy, I did this right earlier. Hang on. Okay, there we go. And look at that, atomic breath, an atomic breath piece. Oh my god, isn't that incredible? I mean, Godzilla with an atomic breath piece, that's like unheard of. Okay, there you go. See that neck piece raises his head so he can, you know, I guess you can make him swim, I guess, if you're doing something like that. But the tail doesn't really go down, so you can't do all that much. This second mouthpiece is just open, no tongue, just a big, like, no movable jaw either. It's just a big open slot to stick this thing in, the atomic breath. But this guy is more or less just in this position. Oh boy, I didn't connect the head fully. Hold on. Okay, so I didn't connect the head fully, and it's being a pain in the ass to do so. So I'm just going to show you guys like this with me holding on to it. It's more or less supposed to be him, you know, beaming up into the sky. You can try and do swimming too, I guess, like I was saying, but this is what it's more so supposed to be. Oh, wait, actually, no, there we go. He's staying still. Never mind. I thought I didn't get it in all the way. But yeah, no, that's basically what it is right there. Just him beaming into the sky. Again, like I was saying, was a little bit of a pain in the ass to set up and get that head in there. You just really had to push. Maybe it's just because it's, you know, like brand new out of the box type thing. But that was a little annoying. I guess that's I don't really want to say tick off, but it's just something to keep in mind, I suppose. Okay, so I'm not sure why, but it was much easier to put the main head and the neck pieces back on than it was to put on this neck piece and this head. I'm not sure why that is, but I'm just gonna say right now, it was like, this took me a minute to get on, and this took me like just a second to just press on, and it's in there. So that's a little bit strange to me, but whatever, I'm not gonna complain. So overall, this guy is cheaper. Paint job is better, in my opinion. He's more durable, but at the same time, he doesn't really move around as much. He's less flexible. so probably wouldn't be as effective in stop motion. But again, before I judge that fully, I'm going to try using him in stop motion myself, so I can just kind of get that fully sorted out, right? I think I've gone over pretty much everything I wanted to go over with these guys. There's not much to go over. This isn't like a Lego set where it has, you know, 1,000 things to it that I need to discuss, so it's not going to be that in-depth like some of my older reviews. But here we go. Got the Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla from SH Monster Arts and the Godzilla vs. Kong Heat Ray Godzilla from HIYA Toys. Overall, I think I'm gonna have to give this one to HIYA, even though I'm, you know, a little bit biased for this one, just because I'm, again, more into stop motion and flexibility over, you know, like paint job and, you know, stuff like that. But I'm just gonna have to give this one to the HIYA Toys Heat Ray Godzilla because the paint job is just so much better than this one's. It's kind of astounding how, you know, this figure is smaller than the Heat Ray Godzilla. It is more fragile, and it's also got a, I would say, objectively worse paint job, to be honest, than this guy. And it's $138. Meanwhile, the HIYA figure is $99 on Amazon right now. I mean, sure, you might sacrifice a little bit of mobility with this guy, but if you're a collector and you're looking for something nice to put on your shelf, which one would you go with, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Again, I prefer this one, the SH Monster Arts figure, just because I like stop motion and he's treated me well with stop motion. But like, to be objective, I think I'm gonna have to give this one to HIYA because it's just better all around, really, aside from the mobility. It's more durable. It's, I would say, bigger is a bit of a plus. I mean, it's just barely bigger though, but it's still bigger, still taller. Maybe it's just the position. I don't know. Maybe I got this guy slouching. Who knows? Overall, for a collector, putting it on the shelf, I gotta give the HIYA figure probably an 8 out of 10, and I'm gonna give the SH Monster Arts figure, I would say, like a 6 out of 10, because again, I'm biased a little bit, okay? Also, again, the SH Monster Arts figure does not come with accessories. Okay, well, again, HIYA, 8 out of 10, SH Monster Arts, like 6 out of 10. But yeah, I will get back to video essays now. I just wanted to do this little casual video of me just talking about figures and my love of collecting out of the way, just because, to save myself some more time so I could get a better idea for a script. To be honest, I need to get back on my schedule. I haven't really written anything like good enough yet to put it out onto YouTube, and so I gotta lock in and try and get that done. But next Friday, I will have something out. I promise you all, I will have something out. But thank you for watching. If you agree with my take, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, tune in for the next time I make a video about something that I think is cool. Alright, I keep talking. I'm not sure why I keep talking. I'm gonna go now. Bye.